teenation. There are some people in the world who fight an unseen battle within themselves 24/7 with a big smile on their face. They never cry, they never crip, they never whine. I call such people warriors because these people know the art of living life, and they're way better than those people who just exist in the world. 6.5 years back, I met a car accident. I was traveling from Balochistan to my hometown, Rahimia Khan. The driver slept, and the car fell in the ditch. As a result of that incident, I sustained multiple injuries. The list is a bit long, don't get scared. Radius ulna of right arm were fractured. Shoulder bone and collarbone were fractured. Lungs and liver were badly injured. The whole rib cage was fractured. But the injury that changed my life and my personality completely was the spinal cord injury. 3 vertebrae of my backbone were completely crushed. It took us an hour or so to find an ambulance in Balochistan. All the effort went in vain because we couldn't find an ambulance. So I was thrown in the back of a Potohar Jeep, and I was rushed to the nearby hospital. In that Jeep, I realized that half of the body was fractured and half was paralyzed. We were rushed to the nearby hospital. There we came to know there was no first aid. I was kicked out. Then I went to another hospital in my hometown where a doctor said, "Take her away, we cannot operate her." And I was like, "Why?" And they were like, "We don't have equipment, she will die someday, you go." I was kicked out again. But I finally ended up in a comparatively better hospital in Karachi. Luckily, I wasn't kicked out, probably that's why I'm alive. So I stayed in that hospital for 2.5 months. I underwent 3 major, 2 minor surgeries. The doctors have put a lot of metal in my arm, a lot of metal in my backbone. So I feel more like an iron lady now. But those 2.5 months that I spent in the hospital were dreadful. I was in severe pain, both physically and psychologically. Many people left. Very close ones. The ones who were supposed to stay with me were the ones who left me when I needed them the most. I was devastated. Life was completely pointless, aimless, colorless. I was tired of wearing the white scrubs, looking at the white walls, doing nothing, sitting idle. I really didn't want to live. But then I realized that instead of crying for the people who were not meant to be with me, and for the legs which I have lost, I have people around me who want to see me alive. I have so much to be grateful for. So let's stop cribbing, stop whining, because it's pointless. The best decision that I took in my entire life was the painting that I made in the hospital with a deformed hand. That's how I added colors in my colorless life. That's how this adversity helped me in exploring an artist in me. That's how this art kept me alive through this whole journey. Then I was moved to Islamabad. I stayed in my room on the bed, confined for 2 years, because I developed multiple pressure ulcers and a variety of infections and allergies. Now this whole traumatic journey of 2 years and 2.5 months being bedridden, doing nothing, the only thing that kept me alive was art. What a beautiful medium art is, that without uttering a single word, you express yourself. What a beautiful escape it was. But the day I sat on the wheelchair for the first time, I was a completely different person. I still remember that I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, "You cannot wait for a miracle to come and make you walk. You cannot wait for the stem cell treatment because it's very expensive. You cannot wait and sit in the corner of the room crying and begging for mercy because people don't have time." So the only thing that I could do was to accept myself the way I was. The sooner, the better. That's what I did. I really wanted to make myself financially strong. Let's become professional. I started to find some jobs. A very good friend of mine updated the status on Facebook saying, "We want content writers." And like a cribber, I commented, "I wish I could." I was called for that interview, and I was hired as one of the content writers for Pakistan's first official websites, heartofasia.pk. Salman Taseer Late was the CEO. That's how I started my professional career. So I was becoming financially strong, stable, content writing was good. I was constantly exhibiting my work in different galleries. I was flourishing as an artist. Life was easy, but I wasn't happy. I was not contented because I was constantly aiming high. I was thinking big. I didn't know how I'm going to do, but I knew that I wanted to do something big for people, for the country. One day, I came across this polio campaign advertisement in which this little boy from a very underprivileged family is sitting on a wheelchair, and with his father sitting with him, crying and saying to the world in that campaign that give polio drops to your kids, otherwise they'll become like him. That advertisement shook me from inside. I feel devastated. The way that boy was objectified as an emblem of grief, misery, mercy, lifelessness, nothingness. Such a wrong picture which was being portrayed in media about the persons with disabilities. That's what we are called. That was the day when I decided that I have to change the perception of the people about being on wheelchair. Because being on wheelchair, you can still face the world with a big smile on your face and you can tell the world that you're happy the way you are. No one has right to objectify us as an emblem of misery or mercy. We are human beings. We breathe. We have souls. We are alive. We feel. We don't need your sympathies. We don't need your empathies. Let us live. No one has right to diss our abilities. We are capable enough to breathe and to live each and every moment of our lives. I recently did a modeling campaign for Tony & Guy, and that makes me Pakistan's first wheelchair-bound model. I'm brand ambassador of the Body Shop Pakistan, and I'm one of the very lucky Pond's Miracle women. It's always good to know that there are very few wheelchair-bound artists in the world, and I'm proud to be one, being a Pakistani, trying to preserve the ethnic jewels of the country in the paintings adorned by very graceful, strong, and powerful Pakistani women, which I paint. Very soon, I'm going to be Pakistan's first wheelchair-bound TV host. And I'm blessed to have a beautiful 3-year-old son, which, he was here, but he was so cranky. Now, you all must be thinking that why I'm using the word wheelchair over and over again in my talk. This is the very perspective I'm talking about. This wheelchair is not my weakness. This wheelchair is not an adversity. This is my strength because the kind of attention that I get when I go anywhere is priceless. Everyone loves to be in the limelight. I have started enjoying to be in the limelight too. This is the very perspective I'm talking about. This wheelchair has given me an opportunity to explore what I had in me and I never knew it. I feel really sorry for some people who play this blame game. They say they feel caged. They cannot perform well, they cannot excel because the system is not allowing them to do. The government, Pakistan, the whole world, society, economy is not letting them grow as a person. They're not excelling in their careers. They say they're caged. I feel sorry. I can undoubtedly say that I'm caged because when I get up in the morning, I'm unable to sit on my own. I'm unable to shift from the bed to the wheelchair, from the wheelchair to the car, from the car to the wheelchair. I need an assistant 24/7 to do little things in life. Let's make it more simple. When I feel thirsty at midnight, and when I forget, which I always do, when I forget to keep my water bottle on my nightstand, and when I don't see anyone around to help me, I stay thirsty for the whole night because I'm unable to get a glass of water for myself. I can undoubtedly say that I'm caged by my body, but my mind is free, and so is my soul, and so is my spirit. I can still dream big. I can still think big. I can still aim high. I can still aspire to inspire. Nothing should stop me. This wheelchair should not be the reason or an excuse of not doing anything in life. I still have big dreams. I still have big plans. And I still have to work on that. Be grateful for what you have. And trust me, you will always end up having more. And if you'll cry and if you'll crib for the little things in your life, you will never ever have enough. You want to excel? You want to grow? You want to be powerful and passionate and great professionals? Learn the art of converting your adversities into opportunities. The moment you're going to learn it, sky's the limit. So be grateful, be happy, be alive, and don't let anyone diss your abilities. Thank you.